Hey everybody, and welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT review show. Apologies about the delay, but we are going to talk about some NXTs. A lot of great things happened. We had a battle royal to open up the show. We had a triple threat tag team match, and we had a women's North American Championship match. Look forward to talking to you guys about it after the intro. Once we get this darn intro going.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Unpopular Review.
Thank you all for clicking on our faces.
New flag with all that.
Okay, so I wrote down some notes.
Shots do that. I don't want to sit too hard. That's twice. That'll probably go over about as well as Colonel Bobby.
Because there was no Jay White site.
Okay, just straight up gangbanging. This story has been fit. You gotta pay attention.
So Unpopular Review does not. What is the CEO of, Chris? Jesus, golly. Let's start the show.
I thought I had the thing down. Hey, everybody, welcome to Unpopular Review, the NXT review show. I'm usually joined by my co host, but it's going to be a solo episode. We're going to talk some NXT. I want to say thank you guys for being so patient in the chat. I appreciate that so much. It's hot out here in New York. That's why I'm sweating. I want to get into some of these chats. From earlier, Mike Riggs, you was the very first person in here. So why don't I read some of this stuff and then we can get into NXT. I want to know what you guys thought about NXT. But real quick, once again, you're watching Unpopular Review. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button. That way, when Unpopular Review go on the air, you can catch that NXT review show. You can catch that Monday Night Raw review show. You can catch that AEW. I mean, we do it all, except TNA. Maybe we should add that as a thing. But Mike, we see you in the chat. I mean, I'm not going to click the earlier ones, but we'll go with this one. And it said, Barbara and Jack, on another subject, I think the upper management for NXT should bring back the women's tag team championships because, after all, we are a pro wrestling community. I don't think so. I think now that you have the women's tag team championship, and it can float on both Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, I don't think we need another batch of women tag team titles. I think that ship has sailed. We got Barbara seems that Trick. Oh, that Vic Joseph was feeling kind of down during the first break from the action tonight on NXT because I know that he missed his wife being backstage. I'm pretty sure he's all right. Pretty sure he's fine. Mike, he's fine. Jack, in your opinion, do you see Trick Williams and Lash having their future wedding on NXT or WWE Raw or SmackDown because they have been trying to figure out where to have their wedding? Another wrestling wedding? If they were going to have it, I would think it would be on NXT. We got George. Hi, George. What's going on? He says, hey, guys. You got to say hi, guys. You got to say it like Jericho. NXT was pretty solid today. Tonight. I'm sorry, I said today. Tonight. Javon Evans is getting an opportunity for the NXT Championship. I see a fatal four-way, George. I see a fatal four-way. The way that it ended tonight, I can definitely see it being a fatal four-way, but we're going to get there. Steve, I don't know if you're still in the chat, but hi, Steve. That's the guy with the prettiest hair in Unpopular Review. He says Joe Henry sucks. I don't think so. But I don't think so. There's a lot of stuff here on the chat, so I'm hoping that I can catch everybody's chat. Mike Riggs, I had her or Solo winning, but I'm not mad, and I'm glad that she won talking about Kelani Jordan. So I mix up James and Jordan easily, but it opened up. NXT opens up with a battle royal. We already had a lot of participants in the ring. We had making his way in the ring was Javon Evans, and as he makes his way out there, he have his ribs taped up from last week's battle with Shawn Spears. But then we get the appearance of one Joe Henry. You hear his theme. That crowd ate that up. I thought that was so cool. A lot of people were calling Joe Henry was going to make an appearance. I don't know if I had him appear. I figured he would appear. I just didn't think for tonight. But it doesn't even matter because he made an appearance, and as much as we said his name, he did not stay long. He was tossed out of this battle royal instantly, which makes me begin to think here. So Joe Henry, right? He gets thrown out immediately. There's this video on social media backstage where he yells at Shawn Michaels, say, "Hey, you have to have your guys throw me out. I could be anywhere I want." And it still makes me, I still think in a way that we're going to get some kind of NXT TNA crossover. I just feel like we're going to get that. I was wondering, seeing if I had a picture of Joe Henry. I do not have a picture of him, but I thought it was cool. I just don't understand why they had him out there just to be eliminated so quickly. Was not a fan of that. But we had another TNA superstar out there. We had Kazarian. I didn't recognize Kazarian until he eliminated Joe, and then they zoomed up and it was like, oh, Kazarian, because he was one of the guys already in there. So that was a big surprise as well. Kazarian, a TNA original, and and I thought it was pretty cool to see him out there. I thought he did his parts out there. He looked good out there. I'm not going to talk about each and every one elimination because there was a lot of men in there. There was a lot of meat in there, so I'm not going to talk about each and every one who got eliminated. But we had Kazarian eliminating Joe. We had Damon. He eliminated Charlie by accident, and we had Kazarian eliminated both catch guys, uh, um, 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 Damien and I forgot the other guy's name. I'm so mad that I forgot my guy's name here. But they're both part of the catch crew. Eliminated them both. Then the last four was Sean, Dragon, Evans, and Kaz. Kaz get eliminated. I missed how he got eliminated. Sean goes through the middle ropes. But I do want to throw out here too. Matter of fact, I'll save it for the end here because it's going to play into the end of the show. But Sean goes through the middle rope, so it looks like he's eliminated, but he's not. And I like that because it makes you think and forget that he was a part of this match. I mean, not Kaz, Dragon and Evans, they have a nice back and forth. They're going at it. Evans throw out Dragon, and you say, "Oh, Evan won," but nah, not really because Sean is still there. No matter of fact, Evans didn't eliminate Dragon. Spear eliminated Dragon. There's no S there. Eliminates Dragon. Now the last two is Evans and Spear. These two have a rivalry from last week. Spear getting the wind off Evans, but Evans was able to get his revenge by throwing Spear over the rope and winning. And you're like, oh, cool. So he's gonna go to Heatwave. So there was a spot here that I forgot to include, and the spot here was you had Ethan Page as he's making his way out. He's the last person to make his entrance to the ring. But we have on-site Aura who just attacks him immediately. So he can't compete in this match. So I mentioned all that to mention he was never in there. He got eliminated. He never got eliminated, so he never had a fair shake at this because Mensa is kind of almost doing what CM Punk has been doing to Drew McIntyre. Just want to ruin Ethan's life. And he says later on, he's backstage, he's complaining to Ava. Ava is matter of fact, Ava gives props to Evans, and he's on cloud nine. He's excited, he's happy about it. But Ego says, no, I deserve a chance. I didn't get eliminated. Ethan tricks. I'm sorry, I'm gonna make sure I got my right here. He tricks the young OG into getting into a match, so we're gonna have that as the main event. There's a bunch of other little segments here. I see you in the chat, Mike. I want to thank you for being here, Mike. I appreciate you so much, sir. Jack, you said he says, Jack, bro, hopefully your broadcast partner will return next week because without question, Barbara is the first lady. I wouldn't say she's the first lady, but she's definitely the lady of UPR. She is definitely that. George, it's always an absolute pleasure to have you a part of the Unpopular Review show. It's always a pleasure to have any of you guys in here. I thank you guys. And we have Elvis. It's hilarious. I don't remember the last time I saw you, dude. But I do appreciate you making an appearance. I'm going to be nice to you until you say something silly, and I know you're going to do that because you can't help yourself. But we had a Fallen Henley segment. There's a bunch of girls in the backstage. They're talking. They're giving Kiani her props. But Fallen's like, who cares? I should be the champion. This should be me. And then all the girls get into an argument. So Ruka has enough and just leaves. We have this segment that leads into the triple threat tag team match with Jacy James, Jazmyn Nix, Lash Legend, Jakara Jackson going against Lola Vice and Roxanne. Lola is training in the back. She's doing some kicks. She's training. Roxanne comes up to her and says, I don't trust you. I saw how you was looking at my championship. Lola said, I'm not trying to be your friend. And eventually I am going to go for that championship, but you'll know when that's time. That's when we get this match. And I thought this match was good. I thought these women went out there and worked really, really hard, and especially Lash Legend. I feel like a lot of times people don't give her flowers. I think Lash is. Everyone knows that I love Jayne. Jayne is fantastic. She is tremendous. But I wanted to give some spotlight on Lash because Lash was looking good. She did a lot of power spots. I like the spot where she did the double suplex on, I believe it was Jacy and Jazmyn, and then she does a very good clean kip up. I thought she looked good. Jacy looked good out there too. Jacy, there was a spot here because I don't see Jacy usually do a lot of hurricanrana. So when she kind of bust out a hurricanrana, I was very much impressed. I said, fantastic. Lola Vice and Roxanne Perez too. They looked very good as a team. There's a spot where Lola throws the girls out, or the girls are on the floor, and then Roxanne just shoots through the ropes and hit a suicide dive. They give each other a high five. There was a lot of chaos in this match here, and I loved it. I thought this was really good. It was hard to really put into, what moves and everything, but I really much enjoyed this match. I thought all the girls worked hard. Roxanne, when Lola did all the work on her team side, Roxanne hits the blind tag and hits the pop rocks on Jakara, pinning one Jakara Jackson. We got here Good Chris in the chat. Hi, Good Chris. How are you? He says Roxanne Perez. We got Mike Riggs says Elvis, welcome to the show, brother. And we got Good Chris. He says I love Fallon Henley and Roxanne Perez. So those are your two gals. Those are your two girls that you like. All right. Now Ridge Holland is a part of Chase U. I thought this was hilarious here, right? I thought this segment was funny because Ridge, he's been trying to win over Duke. He's already won over Andre Chase and Thea Hell. I mean, but to be quite honest, it doesn't take much to win over Andre Chase. I mean, this guy, I don't know. I think Chase U is a cult, and I pray for Ridge Hollins. And if I'm Ridge, I would be careful because I see what Chase U is all about here. See, when Jacy, and I'm glad Booker T called it out. Booker T pointed out how Jacy saved Chase U and how ungrateful they are. So if I'm Ridge, I'm watching my back because Chase U, once they milk you for everything you got, they throw you in the trash. And that's a terrible thing. So I'm on to you, one Chase U. But Ridge is happy to be there. Gallows, he says, oh, look, they finally accepted him. It just made me laugh on how he said it. It was almost like, look, now they accepted the nerd. They called him a nerd and a loser. Andre Chase and Duke Hudson don't like this and don't allow this and says, tell you what, how about we get in the ring later tonight? And we're going to have a tag match with Chase U going against the Good Brothers. Now, I got to ask you guys in the chat here. The Good Brothers, right? They're a successful tag team. They've pretty much done it all, right? They've killed it in Japan. Now they're here in WWE. But I got to ask you guys this. Where were they on Saturday for not Crown Jewel? Where were they? What pay-per-view was this? I'm so mad. Clash at the Castle. I'm mixing up all my pay-per-views. Bear with me here, folks. But where were they at Clash of the Castles? Why were they not helping their boy one AJ Styles? Why did they leave him to dry? What's up with you guys? Y'all could be everywhere else. Y'all on SmackDown, y'all on NXT, but y'all couldn't be there in Scotland. But you wanted to be here to make fun of Ridge Hollins. Okay. All right. It shows what the kind of friendships that these guys got, right? But that's going to be a match for later in the night, as I said. We got good Chris. Matter of fact, real quick, I'm sorry, I should highlight these things here. All right, boom. Let's highlight these things, right? Let me take a breather from talking about NXT. Let me catch my breath and let me talk to you guys. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat. We got Mike Riggs. He says, I love Kelani Jordan and Gigi Dolan because those two women, those two wonderful superstars in NXT are giving the NXT fans a great show. And I must say later down the road, Kelani Jordan and Gigi Dolan's future icons. Big praise from one Mike Riggs. A pro wrestler and future Hall of Famers because they have guts and they believe in their dreams, which is fantastic. You should always believe in your dreams. Cora Jade was in attendance during the women's tag team triple threat match. I forget if it was on Twitter or Instagram, but I saw that she was out there. Do you know how long she's going to be out? I mean, she's been out for a while, right? Anyone knows? Not necessarily when her return is, but how long she's going to be out for? We got good Chris. Welcome to the show, brother. Mike, you're so pleasant. You know, very pleasant. You welcome people. You're very welcoming. Good stuff. Chase, you could use this 6'5". I gotta open my mouth. The 6'5" tall super fan as their manager. Is that you? Are you the 6'5" super fan? I don't want you part of Chase U, Mike. You're better than Chase U, because Chase U is going to use you for everything, and I think you deserve much better, much better, sir. Michin going against Kelani Jordan. This is for the Women's North American Championship. Fun match. I think this is good for Kelani. Kelani, I feel like I'm saying her name wrong. Kelani. What's good about this for her is she's in the ring with someone very experienced like Michin. Michin, she doesn't miss when she's in the ring, and that helps give her a little bit more experience. I know she's been wrestling for what, either under or close to 2 years. So I sit here and go, oh, this is good for her. I thought she kept up very well with Michin. Michin was very giving in this match as well. There was a really cool spot. Michin had her for a. It was like there's a fly in my room, and he's just staring at me. You're not part of the show, you bastard. She it looked like she was going for an electric chair, and then Kelani just reversed it and hit a reverse Frankenstein. I forget what they call it. There's all these moves and these names. But yeah, no, it was good stuff. In the beginning, I kind of was wondering if Michin was actually going to turn heel, because some people were saying Michin turned heel last week because she beat Jada Parker, and I didn't think so. I think she just went up to her and beat her. But when she went to shake hands earlier in the show, or in the match, I'm sorry, she suckered her in for a roll up. But I think that's just her being a veteran and trying to trick her. We have New H Man. Hi there. Where's Wrestling Doll? I'm sorry to disappoint you, New H Man, but she is not on tonight. Hopefully she'll be here next week. But you got me to talk about some NXT. I'm hoping I can entertain you, New H Man. Mike says, yes, I am 6'5". You're a pretty tall dude. I am not 6'5", so you are practically a baby giant. Mike Riggs also says Cora Jade is a fantastic wrestler and hopefully goes 100% better and return back inside the square circle. She will be back. Thank you, good Chris here. Said probably back October or September. So maybe in September she'll be back. You know, sooner the better. I mean, the women's roster has been really fantastic. Very, very fantastic. But she is missed. She is in fact missed. Michin, she's giving it to Kelani. Kelani's trying to hold her own. The Good Brothers are out there too, and the Good Brothers confuse me. They do heel shit, right? They do. They're messing with Chase U. They're kind of bothering them. But then they're with Michin and oh, I'm sorry, New Age Man. Well, I did enjoy the Nintendo Direct showcase video this morning, and it was all good. I didn't watch all of it. I saw that they are having a new Mario game, a Metroid, and I those were the only two things I really saw. Oh, and they're gonna have the Marvel versus Capcom games. I thought that was really cool. So yeah, I didn't see it, but I saw like highlights of it, and I thought that was really really cool. But just to finish this match here, Michin, she was going to go for a top rope maneuver. The Good Brothers were distracted by Out the Mud, and when Michin was going to go for it, Jada came out, pushed her off, and that's when Kelani finished her off with the one of a kind split-legged moonsault. Good stuff here. She retains the championship. I didn't think she would lose it. Um, yeah, good job on Miss Jordan here, and we gotta see what's going on. There's a long lineup of people here that, well, females who want a shot at her. One of them was Ariana Grace. She went backstage and was talking to Ava, and Ava said, no, matter of fact, it wasn't even Ava. She was talking to Kelani. Kelani said, "Well, this person, she never complains. She never asks for much. She doesn't do anything. She's a really good soul." And Ariana was great on this because she really thought it was about her. And she said, "No, it's not you. It's Soruka." It was interesting too because as Kiana was walking to the ring for her match, Soruka approached her and said, "Hey, you got it, girl. Good luck." But there was something about before she announced her and said, "I would like to face her for my championship." I was like, "Watch your back here, Kiana," because I don't know. Soruka looked like she's I would just watch my back. Watching wrestling long enough, I certain signals that make me go like my antennas go up. But she's going to be getting a shot. They didn't say when. I don't know if it's going to be next week or if that's going to be at Heatwave. Um, Mike Riggs. Okay, let me read it. Alrighty, bad guy Jack. Fun Mike Riggs is ready to head out for the evening. And bro, when you get the opportunity to chat with Barbara, please let her know I'll be here next week. See you, bad guy. Thank you, Mike, for being here. Appreciate you, sir. And I will pass the nice gesture to her. Good Chris in the chat. He says Corey J tore her ACL in January. Wow, it was in January. It was, right? Because when she did it, she came back, and I think it was like a week or 2 weeks later she got hurt, which was really unfortunate because she just came back from an injury. And when she did come back, I immediately thought, oh, they're going to put the title on her. I felt like that was the direction that they want, and I still think that's what they wanted to do, but she got hurt. And I feel that before she gets called to the main roster. Now she doesn't have to win the championship to before she goes to the main roster, but I would like for her to have a little bit of a run with that championship before she goes to the main roster because that's her destination. She's going to be on the main roster. Not this year, I don't see it, but down the line. And don't ask me when do I see it. I just see it down the line. We have Obafemi. Obafemi comes out. He has a lot to say. He talks. He gets the mic and he says, "This all feel familiar." And when he says this is great. He says it feel familiar. He mentions how he's still the NXT North American champion. He said no man can stop him, no matter how many men there are. They can't stop him. He can't be defeated. He can't be touched. He dominates everybody that comes in his way. And there's no one like him. And asks, is there anybody that can take the championship off him? That's when Wesley comes out. Wesley comes out, and he says a really important part here. He talks about that triple threat, and he says, well, I never got pinned, which is true. He never got pinned. Joe Coffey got pinned. So he says this, and he talks about wanting to get another shot. Oba says out loud he's annoyed on how obsessed he is about this championship. He's like, bro, Had your chance. Move on. Go. Get out of here. And I like Wesley's response. He goes, I don't care. You annoyed? Too bad. And he talks about wanting to get another shot. I want to get to this part after I talk about this whole part here. And Wes talks about these records that he have. He mentioned holding all these records for the North American I'm assuming about the title because he had so many great title defenses. Wesley was really much killing it once upon a time, and unfortunately he had to give up the belt because he got hurt. But he talks about you know what's funny? I don't know why it just came to my head because I'm trying to figure out because Dom won the championship, right? And I'm trying to figure out now. I kind of lost my train of thought here. I'm so sorry, like because Dom held the championship for a minute, and I'm like he beat Wesley for it, right? And then what? Wesley? I don't know. I just randomly forgot about this. I don't know. Brain fart here. Brain fart live. But he talks about holding a record, and he says, "Yeah, that's gonna bother you about the records that he hold." And Oba gives in, and he says, "I'll give you another title shot because I want to break your records." But he said, "After this, you can no longer. After I defeat you, you can no longer come for my North American Championship as long as I'm champion. Is that a deal?" And Wesley smiles. He says, "Yeah." I look forward to this match. I thought that that was the direction they were gonna go originally, so I don't mind on how they went about to get to this match. I think that match is about to fucking kill. Honestly, Wesley Femi, sign me up. I am 100% down for that. But I did want to talk about this segment, the commotion that was happening in the crowd here. There was something going on. It even distracted Oba and Wes. Something was going on. You could see that security was running in the audience because there was a commotion, and you couldn't see it. And I love how it was shot because it came off very real. It came off like this is not supposed to happen. I don't have the pictures, and I do apologize. I should have been a little bit more prepared for tonight, so I hope to make it up to you guys next week. But in the crowd, you can't see him, but it's Jensen. Jensen, who has been causing all kinds of a stir. That's the word, stir. I do have a picture here. This was off his Instagram. Let's get this bad boy going here. Look at this. Jensen has been having a pretty hard time. You can't read the paper but it's all these different wrestling promotions. But look what's in the picture. The Jack Daniels right there. My man's has been having a hard time since I don't even think he's been let go from NXT. They just don't have anything for him. They don't let him do anything. And my guy has been living on some hard times. Look at that Jack Daniels. And you could tell this is the morning time. I think they should be aware. They should be checking up on my man to make sure that he's all right. Because nobody should be drinking Jack Daniels 10 in the morning. That is wild. Very, very, very wild. And you also see him back. You see him outside. They went to the NXT parking lot. Eddie Thorpe was being interviewed. And you can see in the back of him being arrested. He's being put in a black Jeep van. I don't know where this story is going, but it's really intriguing and hilarious, honestly. My man's has just been doing whatever. I don't understand. I don't understand this place, right? Like, just put his picture up that he's banned. Like, how is he always getting in? I don't understand this. I just don't. He's becoming more dangerous than the NXT parking lot because how is he just breaking in? What is happening here? With that, we got a few more matches. And we're going to talk about all that stuff. I'm going to play some quick commercials. I'm going to take a breather from talking here. I hope that you guys are enjoying this show. This is the NXT review show on Unpopular Review. And we're going to be right back after these commercials.
Previously on the Mike Knox Show. The whole thing, from the day that man said, I'm your tribal chief, I put the food on the table, I take it off. Because of me, we can eat. Because of me, we all feed our families. I laughed eternally because I'm like, oh, this is leading towards him and a rock. 100%. But crybaby fans, he called you Cody Crybabies. You know who you are. You wanted this man to be your champion. He is your champion. Ratings have slipped. Interest has slipped. And here's the thing. When was the last time you heard a show was sold out? When was the last time you heard sold out seats? It is definitely both. I've always been a fan of blaming both equal parts of a company messing up on someone's career. Always have been. You've been with me now for about 2 years now. Go back and watch 10 years of showing you why I'm the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be in this podcast video business that you bitches all copy off of. Okay? I speak my facts. I speak my truth. No one puts a quarter in my back and say, speak this. What you get from Mike Knox is Mike Knox. You are 100% right. They're not helping Cody because things like I just mentioned, Randy being a fucking face doesn't help Cody. Like, who the fuck am I? Okay.
I just remember Tama talking because he's actually pretty good. His facial mannerisms, the way he walks, comes in the ring, even when he's on the right side.
Like a Tasmanian devil.
He's a
psycho. He's a maniac.
Correct.
That's the picture that I had. That's the picture that I had. You put up there.
And they need to have more angles with him doing the thing he did backstage a couple weeks ago. He was like, like he's spazzing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was great. That was gold. That's why I said, okay, this guy has something in it that makes him stand out. Then I see this guy, and I'm like, okay. Okay. All right. You know what I'm saying? This is the thing we say in my club, at night. It's called "You Go Girl," because he's riding bitch, on a bike. So I'm through. Let's talk about the main event.
You want to keep talking about it?
Let's get out of here. Main event time.
While I'm watching this movie, ladies and gentlemen, you don't know this. We often FaceTime while we watch this movie, and I took screenshots of. Some of our co-hosts. Now, first of all, let's start with the person who picked this movie. This was Chris while we were watching this movie. He enjoyed this, and I don't know if it was me not enjoying it, but this was him. I didn't understand. This was me. I just wanted it to be over with. I mean, look, the pay was great, but don't get me wrong. Enough is enough, And this was Vic. I was surprised that Vic was there and that he watched this movie, but this was Vic. Ladies and gentlemen, listen, I'm a humble person, as anybody who knows me know this. Okay, I meet people, I remember their names, I remember details about them. So let me just say this is a detail that I need to do. Doctor, let me apologize to you and your pick last week. I also like to apologize to Galaxy Quest because they did make me laugh. This one did not. It was a spoof of a comedy. And in that it succeeded. I should give this movie a thumbs up for not being funny. Okay, because it's the genre. Every other spoof I've ever seen had me laugh a couple times. I only laughed at that mausoleum scene. And I said, Chris, you've outdone you. You've done better than Vic. What'd you say, Vic? I said, Chris has outdone Vic.
Those are some great commercials there. Hey guys, you're watching Unpopular Review, the NXT review show, the solo episode. I am your host, the Great Grand Slam Pooba, aka Badguy Jack. And all those commercials that you saw, you can see the Mike Knox show on Monday night at 6 p.m. You can catch the SmackDown crew. They do it on Saturdays around 12-ish, 1 p.m. They talk about Friday Night SmackDown. You got to catch those gents. You catch Z the Silent. You can catch Vic, and sometimes there's a variety because you saw Mike and you saw EC there. And also you just saw in that commercial that the UPR E crew, what was that movie? Dracula Dead and Loving It. So you can catch them I don't got the exact dates on when they do it. I think it's Mondays and Tuesdays. I mean Thursdays. I mean Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm trying to get all of these thoughts together here, guys. But let's talk about these last three matches here. We had Fallon Henley going against Kaylee Bright with Kendall Gray. They had from earlier when Kaylee Bright was bragging about Kiani. I'm sorry, mixing up my K's here. Fallon Henley was just over it. You have Fallon, who is, it's crazy to say this, she is the veteran. She was here when NXT 2.0 was first starting. And I say the word veteran and been here since well, I won't say the beginning, but since, well, I guess since 2.0 and this new change, or just been there longer. I think that's the better way of wording it, right? It was a good match. It was funny seeing Fallon Henley here. She comes out with this big, this big jacket. It looked like I asked myself as I watched this match. I said, "Oh my lord, how many cows did she kill to wear this jacket?" But it was a fly ass jacket. I'm not even going to hold you. I was quite envious. Now I'm always confused. I've been in Florida, and when I was out there, I wore shorts. So when I see this jacket, I said, "Well, what is the weather like?" I was very much I was pretty much confused here. It was this match was I want to say it was for Carly Carly Bright, Miss Bright out there, so she can get. I feel like I've seen her before, but this was the first time I remember seeing her out there. I thought she looked good. She didn't look like she was a deer in headlights. She was holding her own against Fallon. Fallon, who I mean, really been finding her groove. I mean, the only thing for me has been, this heel turn for me. The heel turn for me, I just feel forced. It's been a few weeks, probably a month at this point, but I just feel forced. But I mean, she's been in the groove. I think she's been doing some great work here. It looked like Miss Bright is going to have an upset. She is holding her own, but we have Wendy Chu. She's up now. She is wide awake, and she comes out and she chokes out Kendo. She chokes out Kendo. Miss Carly is distracted. Fallon take advantage of this. She hits her with a shining wizard. 1, 2, 3. It was a decent match. I mean, this is nothing. I'm not gonna sit here and say 5 stars at the Tokyo Dome, but this was decent. I think this was you wanted to put Fallon out there and also to put some spotlight on Carly and Kendall as well. I mean, she was out there managing her girl, but she was still out there. I just feel like they wanted to get some spotlight on her, which is cool. And it's good to see Fallon. Fallon, later she's backstage. She's very upset hearing about Soruka getting a shot. Jayne, the fantastic Jayne. Now you guys know how I feel about her. I love me some Jayne. She's out there, and not out there. They're backstage. Her and Jazmyn Nix, and both Jacy. Sorry, there's a lot of J's here. You gotta work with me, guys. Jacy, could Fallon sitting there saying, it's almost like they don't get any respect. They've been here since the beginning with like the vets, and there's none of that. And Jacy said, "No, I hear you. I agree." She even talks about, well, at least you won your match. We didn't get pinned, and she talked about, her nose being broke by the very dangerous Thea Hell, and it looked like there's going to be an alliance here, and I'm interested in this. They kind of teased this a few weeks back. I'm going to say 3, 4 weeks back, maybe a month. I'm sorry, I mix all my time up here. But they kind of teased this not that long ago when Fallon turned on Thea, and Jacy and Jazmyn were looking at her like, there might be something there. I'm for this. I am totally for this. I'm totally for this, especially if it means that we can get some gold around one Jacy Jayne. Jacy Jayne deserves some gold. I will keep saying that every chance as long as this mic is running. So really, some really interesting stuff here, and then you also see Jacy as she with the mask, and she's playing with the mask. So I thought that was cool. So it's going to be interesting to see where this go. I am for it. Let's go. We have Chase U against the Good Brothers. Chase U gets the dub here. Good stuff. I thought this was a fun tag match. It's always great to see Duke. Duke is just amazing. I feel like Duke is always adding something to his moveset. A while back, he added the Hurricanrana, right? Some time ago. There's a spot in this match, and I thought it was so cool. He did that move that Trish used to do back in the day, where it was like that. It was the person would be sitting on the turnbuckle, and then they do a handstand and catch you with their leg, and with a head scissors take over. I thought that was cool. You know, the Good Brothers are really good at what they do. I mean, they're a pretty celebrated tag team. I don't think I have to brag about them. I just wish that they were out there in Scotland to help out their boy AJ Styles. I don't know what we're doing here anymore. But the part here in this match here, Duke goes for the pin, and I'm trying to make sure I got this correct here. Duke goes for the pin, and hey, I'm sorry, I was distracted. The man of the Jack Pack is here. I'm glad that you are here. I need to support my boy Jack. I appreciate you, Roddy. I know you was out there with shout out to and Cat We Trust and the Spectacular Shay. So I know you was over there, but I do appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, sir. How are you? I hope all is well. You missed my praise on Jacy Jayne, but you know how I feel about one Jacy Jayne. I hope that you did defend her when you was over there, because that those two gals over there, they're very disrespectful to the incredible Jacy Jayne. But I'm talking about this match. Oh, I love when you come back and bring me some tea. You brought me back some tea. Here's to you, Roderick. Well, let me see what you said. You said, I'm telling you, Jack, you need to say something to Katrina and Shay, because they're disrespecting and badmouthing JC's name in the ground, and I cannot tolerate it, which is why I have to bring it all. Have to bring all. I appreciate you, Roderick. I thank you for being here and telling me these things, and I'm going to tell them a thing or two. And when I do tell them, one of them is going to be in this corner, and the other one's going to be in that corner, because they're going to be on timeout for the bad words that they said about one Jacy Jayne. And when Jacy Jayne wins the NXT Women's Championship, there's gonna be no room for them on the Jayne train. So don't you worry about it, Roderick. I will make sure to tell them ASAP that they are expelled. I don't have that power, but I'm gonna try. Chase U gets the win. So I'm trying to peep this, right? So it looked like Holland held Duke or did something to help him get the pin, and Duke looked confused. Like, huh? What happened here? Duke, who has made quite the change, right? Everyone thought that he was going to turn all this time ago, and here he is, has been loyal to this terrible place called Chase U. It's an awful place. Sorry. And I like Andre. Listen, Andre, I like you a lot. I think you're a great mentor, but I can't forgive you for what you did to Jayne. Sorry. But I got to sit here and say, very jealous of your footwork, your foot gear, your shoe wear. I think it's fantastic. I'm trying to reach your level, sir. But yeah, Chase U gets the win. And now you can tell that there's also the story here in Chase U where is Rowley? Like, where did he go? They said he was in the UK, because Thea said that earlier. But yeah, Andre is like, this is. He was asking what happened out there, and Ridge tells him like, yeah, no, Duke won the match. He did it. He won. So there's that. There's going to be some more. I feel like when Chase U, there's always something going on in Chase U. Something is happening. People are not getting along. People think this person's going to turn. They win, and now they question it. They kick good people out. I don't understand this school. I think I would have made a transfer a long time ago. I would have said this school is giving me a headache. I already have to deal with all these exams and stuff, and now this school is giving me a headache and is messing with my mental. I'm leaving. Roderick says good, and I'll keep reporting to see if they keep disrespecting and badmouth Jacy. You do that, and you get an A+ for reporting back to me. Thank you, one Roderick. Appreciate you. Let's get into this main event. I know this is a quick show. It's usually an hour and some change. We go very, very long, but I do want to say I appreciate you guys in the chat. Made the show a lot more easier for me. I don't do a lot of solos, so I do appreciate the little interaction that I got here. Thank you guys. I promise next week will be a little bit better. But before I get into this main event here, right? Let's talk about Unpopular Review a little bit here, right? Unpopular Review, this is a lovely brand. It's fantastic. I'm doing the NXT review show, but you know what's so beautiful about this brand? Let me tell you what's so great about this brand. We have a Monday Night Raw review show. I know I usually save this for the end, but I'm going to do it right here. I've been talking nonstop, so let me just do it here. We have the Mike Knox show. That's at 6 p.m. We have the Monday Night Raw show. We have the NXT show. We have the AEW Dynamite after show. We have the Friday night. It's such great content. I know I'm bragging about it because it's so great. And you know it would be great if you hit that like button. You hit the subscribe button. Probably should have opened the show with that. But all that stuff came up as I speak. We have Ethan Page going against Javon Evans. Javon Evans, who has his ribs taped, but he went out there. He's the young babyface, the young. I feel like this was a foolish move, young man. I really appreciate this young man. This young man is a star. He gets bouncy. Oh my God, Vic said it so much that it just sounded so uncool, though. Vic kept saying he's getting bouncy. He's getting bouncy. I could just image. He's very animated with it. He was doing a little too much for me when he kept saying bouncy. Like every now and then, he mentioning it, cool. But when you drive it to the ground, you make it not sound cool. Stop it, Vic. Just stop it. Ethan Page and Evans have a match. I thought it was solid. I thought it was good. Evans does his stuff. He gets bouncy. He's flipping around. He's hitting his moves. Ethan, he even sells for him. Not even he sells for him. Not like Ethan is pretty solid in the ring. I mean, I don't get to see him a lot. This is the most I've actually seen him wrestle. I know he's a very accomplished wrestler, but I haven't seen a lot of him. And seeing him out there, I was like, oh, he's really, really good. And I said this before on one of the shows that when you have Ethan, having him on NXT is a great move because one, I'm sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts here. When you have Ethan out there, he can help someone like Evans. Evans is what they said, 20. I was not gonna lie, when I heard 20, I said, God, I remember when I was 20. But he can help out these younger talent, and obviously NXT is also a perfect fit for him. So I thought this was this was solid. Ethan Page gets the win. He hits the Eagle's edge on him. Evans put on quite the fight and did what he could. Trick was out there as well. He was on commentary. He was cheering for his boy. I like the back and forth him and Booker T was having because Booker T, he was for Ethan, and Booker T did say some smart things. Booker T's been around wrestling for many, many years. He's a veteran of the game, and he mentions when Vic says Ethan's taking advantage of the ribs, he says Evans said he wanted to wrestle. He said I'll go out there. That was on Evans, and I agree. Book be saying some smart. Book was on point tonight, though, bro. Like, there's a part in the show, and I'm going a little bit back here when he talked about how Chase U kicked out Jacy and how like she saved it. And I said, good job, Book. We need more Booker T on this show. This is what I'm saying. But yeah, some good stuff here. Ethan gets the win, and Evans put his number one contender spot on the line, so he lost. But after the match, you had Shawn Spears come out. He's beating up Evans. Trick sees this and he tries to help out, but Ethan Page and Shawn attacks him, and they double team him, and that's when Evans hit the double cutter from the turnbuckle. He's just springboard cutter on both Ethan and Shawn Spears. And all the men are out there, and that's when Vic does again. He's getting bouncy. It's ridiculous on how many times he said this damn stick. And the show ends with all four men crawling to the NXT Championship. I see a fatal four-way in the future, and or in the future, I'm sorry, at Heatwave, and I'm for it. I I think Evans and Trick would have a fun match, but I just don't think Evans need to be in the championship match right away. So I'm for Ethan, Sean Spears, and I think that could be a really fun. It makes me think about this Fatal Four Way back in the Golden Black day. It was Tyson Kidd, not Dolph Ziggler. Oh my God, Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn, and the champion was Neville, I believe. And I thought they had a fantastic Fatal Four Way, and something about this give me that vibe in a way. Can't explain why, but it's something about it that gives me that vibe, and think that those four men in a Fatal Four Way would be fantastic. And that is really the NXT show. I know it was a little quick. It's usually a little bit more rambunctious and a little bit more crazy, but we wanted to give you an NXT review show. Um, I want to thank you guys for being in the chat. I want to thank you guys for giving it a shot, giving us a watch. I said a shot. Let me plug these shows one more time here, because there are shows here for the Unpopular Review Network. So look at these things. On Monday, the Mike Knox show at 6 p.m. Monday Night Raw, they're going to be making a change. They are going to be moving from Monday nights, and it's not going to be a watch party anymore. It's going to be a review, I believe. I will let them talk about, but they are moving. The NXT show is, as you're watching right now, is on Tuesday. AEW, the Dynamite review show, after Dynamite go off the air. SmackDown, you can catch Z, the Silent, and Vic. They go on Saturdays at afternoon, 12ish, 1ish or so. You can catch them on the AEW Dynamite show. You can catch Dan the Man. I almost said Mike the Man. Mike is the man. Shout out to Mike. Dan the Man, Venomous Vinny, and Cactus Katie. They do the AEW Dynamite show. So catch these lovely gents and lads, both these gents and ladies on these shows. Fantastic job. Salute to them. I am slurring my words, and I have not been drinking. Terrible. But I do want to plug one more thing here. We have a UPR battle. We're going to have a battle this Sunday. Let me look for the graphic. I knew I put the graphic in here. We have a UPR battle this Sunday. We put two fictional characters against each other, and we debate on who would win in a fight. So this Sunday, we're going to have Super Mario on the show. I'm excited about having Mario on the show. I wanted Mario on for a while. So if you go into either Minds or See the Superiors Instagram, and you look in our stories, which is actually, and also the UPR page, we have a suggestion box. So give us some suggestions. Please, oh please, don't give us Sonic. We already had Sonic on the show, and two, Mario and Sonic has been debated to hell. So we're not gonna have Sonic. I can promise you, if you put Sonic, that will be ignored. Also, too, I will give a cheap plug here for myself and the Wrestling Doll. The Wrestling Doll, she has a YouTube channel. It is called the Unofficial Camera Woman. Give her a follow. She goes through Florida. She records some wrestling matches. She asked for their permission, of course. So please go to that YouTube channel. I forget the number that she has, but she has a great amount of subscribers. But please continue to subscribe to her page. I have a audio podcast. We talk about wrestling. It's called the Big Pop Theory Podcast. It is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts is no longer a thing. There's all these other things. If you look at it, iHeartRadio, if you put the Big Pop Theory Podcast, you should find it. We talk about Monday Night Raw. We don't talk so much NXT because I'm doing an NXT review and my co-host is doing an NXT review show as we speak. And we talk about AEW and sometimes wrestling news. It's a fun watch. I mean, listen. We have a YouTube as well. We're trying to add some more content to it. But for now, we do predictions and a review show after. So with all that said, I think that's all the plugs. I want to say thank you guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Be well. I'm looking for this outro. Here's the outro. Take care, everybody.